All right. No thanks. So I'll read that one. Ed, when you're ready, you gotta unmute yourself.
Okay, I can hear you again. All right, we ready to start?
Ready to start.
Okay, let's pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve today's agenda?
So moved. Second.
Any additional comments or additions to the agenda? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, resolution to approve the minutes of the July 13th. Can I get a motion?
Move. Second.
Any corrections, additions to that?
Nope.
Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody in the audience there that
We have Gerald.
Salvage.
Is he here tonight?
Not here.
No.
Anybody would like to speak?
Other additional?
Just trying to find what the status is on my property with the water.
It's Mr. McQueenie.
okay? Bob, you want to address that? Since you're working on it?
Yeah, we started in there, it's really wet, we got the water draining towards that, but we gotta go in there and widen it way out. You know, hopefully if it dries up with this rain every day, you know, so,
So you do have equipment up there now? Or had equipment up there?
we got the small machine, but we'll bring the bigger machine in.
Okay.
We got all the vegetation down and water running, you know, but it's not, we gotta widen out. All the way down through.
Yes, we're actively working on it.
Just my other concerns were, I know you guys were working on, you were having problems at Stryker and Hazelhurst. Trying to figure out a diverting water that way, because you guys thought water's coming that way down to all our behind our houses. But they come up with a,
I think Ed brought that up. I'm not.
Ed, did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Yeah, Bob, we addressed that. What we're going to do is, once the behind your house is opened up, we had got permission from Mark Phillips to take out a 4-inch pipe and to put in a larger pipe and to try to divert some of the water to in front of the house instead of behind the house. But we don't want to do that until we have the lower portion taken care of. Bob, did I forget anything that you mentioned before?
No, you had a meeting with soil conservation there when we walked through, and then you were talking to Phillips and the other guy that lives in the White House there. And
Seville.
what's his name?
Seville.
Yeah, Seville.
Yep. So we're trying to solve their issue up above as well, but I can't dump more water down to your house, Pat, unless we get that thing, or try to divert it around your house in front of it, so it goes into the storm drain in front of next to the road instead of behind the houses. So that hopefully with the better flow behind your house and diverting more water by increasing the capacity going to a different direction, it would bypass your house completely.
I know the last time I talked to you guys, I kind of told you I wanted to take that pipe out of my backyard, because I just think that pipe is worthless. Just the way, I don't know if you guys have talked about it, consider taking it out and just leaving it in a ditch.
Well, my opinion is, if you want us to take it out, we can take it out at your own risk. I'll have you sign something that we're not putting anything back in there after we take it out. We're just gonna take it out and leave it as a ditch. That's it.
Well, that's fine with me. My concern is what I really want to do. And I've talked to a few contractors, is actually widen it out like in 17 Green Lanes turn. And stone it and have a big wide. So it's a pretty good wide swell.
Well, you can do it at your cost. We're not gonna do that.
I understand that, but I'm just asking you guys if that'll save some of my cost. To just get that pipe out of there. And then I'll take care of the rest.
Okay, let's get it opened up first, and as soon as Bob can get in there, we'll get it cleaned out.
Cause I think that's the way the pipe's in there now. Even if we hit like Monday, all the rain that we got, I got ponding water, just ponding because it can't go south. Because that pipe does go up. I know, we've already put a laser on it, I know that. So I still need water going south. With the way it is, I can't put a swale down there. If it was dirt, I could make a swale, dig it out and keep going south. I can't dig a plastic pipe out. So that's my concern. I just think that pipe is no good to me. It's full on Tom's side of water, but when it's coming out at the other end, it's not full. So water's trying to get in there, but it can't, because I think it's trying to push uphill in that pipe. And they can't, so it's gonna take the path of least resistance, and it's gonna take a left into my yard. So that's all I'm trying to do is keep water going south.
Yep, if you want that pipe out, we'll take it out. And you can do whatever you want with your backyard there. So,
Hey,
You gotta remember one thing, you only got a 12-inch pipe underneath the service road going to the park. So that pipe can only take so much water. So no matter how far you widen the ditch out, it's only gonna let so much water out with that pipe. And our sewer main headed to Owasco Road is right underneath that pipe. There's no room to lower it or drop it or what.
Ed?
Yep.
Just, so you know, at 4:06, Ricky came in. So,
Okay.
would, putting together some kind of, waiver or something be something that we could have you do?
All right, so.
Okay.
Before they leave it in for now, I'm gonna get with some contractors myself.
okay,
And get some more, ideas what the best way to do it, but I think the one guy I've talked to already said, the pipe's no good, it's the way it's in the ground, it's not helping you at all. So, but I wanna talk to a few more, so before they actually take this pipe out, I wanna be informed, so.
oh, yeah,
Do it right away, I wanna talk to some contractors first.
okay,
He might say, all right, you guys, you get that, the town gets the pipe out of it, then I'll have a contractor, if I work with them, come in and do something, but I don't want to take that pipe out until I talk to a few more contractors.
let's do it this way. You tell us when the contractor's ready to go and we'll take it out a couple days before.
All right,
For me,
anybody else?
Public to be heard.
Yeah, I'm Joe Lattimore. And I'm here to see if you can lower the speed limit
Striker?
and maybe knock the noise down too. And Striker it.
It's on the agenda.
There a long time.
It was, I thought. It's on the
I think
agenda.
that's better. Get more-
We're, yeah, we actually have that.
It's on the agenda,
communications.
Joe.
We're gonna talk about it.
What noise?
It's under communications.
Well, he can talk about it right now if he wants. Go ahead.
Sure.
So that's you're concerned about the speed and the noise. Where's the noise coming from?
the Vehicle.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Something that's being missed. Besides the speed. I would recommend 21. 21 will.
I don't think
your
they'll
eye
change that
like
speed
you-
limit, no matter what you do.
When you put a normal speed limit up, they seem to say, oh, okay. But when they see 21, 23 or something like that, they say, why? And they
So-
slow them down.
So we determined that our only, the best that we could do legally was 25, right? That was the lowest that we're authorized to reduce the the speed limits, and I had sent you an email regarding that, and you had pointed out some places in the town where it's lower than 25. And that may not have been done appropriately at the time. And
School districts is the only thing you get.
right,
School zones are only, so
They're down
what
to
I,
20.
what I've always, and I was able to pull that because I already knew it. State roads, the state can impose any speed limit they wish, essentially. They can make it slow or as fast as the state's max speed limit's allowed. The state does not allow towns and villages for the longest time to do a speed limit lower than 30 miles per hour. For some reason, 2 years ago, they changed the state law to allow it to be down to 25. So 25 is the lowest that from what I've seen on general municipal law, that we can't do anything beyond that. I don't know what everyone's opinion other than that's the fact of the situation.
We tried to get the speed limit changed on Turnpike Road and they wouldn't go for it. It was too boring. They claimed the answer was it would get too boring and you'll get more people passing because everybody's slowing down than the other guys would want to pass and it create more problems than it would be worth.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't lower it on Turnpike Road.
well, the question that I have, and it would be a question for Rick, I think, is if we look at the town and we see that there are 3 locations, let's say, that over the years, somebody decided to just make up a sign and throw it up there on a pole without proper justification, do we have some obligation to correct that? And I would think that
I
we
would
do.
think so.
And if we,
Yeah.
if the lowest speed limit that we're authorized right now is 25, let's correct everything all at the same time and say, you know, whatever we've got to do that, and maybe Stryker is another location that it's appropriate. I don't know or not know, you know, but at least we'd have some standardization and we'd be in compliance with the law.
You're right.
You know, so I assume that places like
It was Martin Point and the Woodlands were both those locations. The Martin Point sign, according to Ed, had been up there for a long time.
right,
I would imagine the Woodlands was marked at that speed because the contractor built the roadway and then turned it over to the town. So I believe they signed it at that time, right? And they developed up on Callaway Drive.
What's the question? It was turned over to the town.
Yeah, so they had the contractor put the signage up.
They did. I don't know.
Yeah, I would imagine if they built a road. Yeah.
That I picked up.
yeah. So if Bob, do you know of any other places in the town that are lower speed limit than 25 miles an hour?
No, but if Joe's worried about traffic, why don't we put a counter across the road? We can see how many cars go through there average for a week. He's probably getting a lot of noise from Owasco Road with them trucks, you know,
What number Striker are you at?
he's right on the corner of Stryker and Owasco Road. right
Oh,
there.
okay, yeah, that's gonna be loud.
The south.
It's the main thoroughfare all the way to Syracuse.
Yeah, right.
So he's probably catching a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
It's become, it used to be a dead end when I bought the house and
Progress.
things went down.
I think that we can definitely keep it in the forefront of our mind here moving forward and see if we can't correct some of these problems all at the same time.
So you can go to 25.
We're authorized by law to go to 25. There's a process that we would have to go through.
You're right. You can't just change it.
To be able to go to.
To be
Right.
able to, yes.
Doesn't matter.
Right,
Not required.
It has to be approved.
right. We could if we chose to.
Yeah, you know, there's no sidewalks. It's a narrow street.
Well, we're hoping to fix that moving forward, but
We got kids now. Used to be old timers like myself. but Now we got some young kids running.
Yeah, there's a lot of children on this areas now.
The next year, the street's gonna be tore up.
The only other thing would be a speed bump, that is liquid. They don't sell them here yet. If you're going over the speed limit, it will hit you. If you're going okay, it stays flat. lawsuits, we got a special.
You see the lawsuits there.
Wow,
Speak.
I've never heard of that.
25, go 25, that's,
Yeah.
I love that. And
Put over general list.
Yeah, I know.
so we can,
Everybody- Everybody wants.
Ed, we
25.
could just kind of keep that as, something that we can look
Discuss,
at,
yeah.
kind of discussing moving forward on all of these smaller communities and see what's appropriate.
I'll ask Bob to take the 20, there are things that they did, was they put children at play. We just keep the children at play signs up and take those signs down for now, that are below 25. And the other thing that Frank should be aware of, that Frank, we got $2.5 million for a road project to separate the sewers. And one of the first streets that's going to get done is Stryker. So it probably may not happen next summer, but it could start as early as next fall. That whole street will be wiped out. It will be basically closed off for residents only, because we're going to separate the combined sewer systems and have their own storm and sewer system and replace the water line. So that whole road will be completely wiped out. And so depending on what the prices come back at, you're going to have a brand new road in probably 2.5 years on Stryker, possibly with curbing, but we don't know yet. It could be a ditch curb like they have in developments, but that's in the works right now.
Make it faster than with the new blacktop.
Right, that's like, oh boy.
That's a lot of traffic.
Yeah, there is.
All right, well,
It's a shortcut.
we'll move forward like that then.
So Tammy, we just put this on the agenda for next month as a standing discussion, and we can follow up. I'll follow up with Bob during the month to see if we can get someone to take some of those signs down that aren't compliant with state law right now. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Tammy. Anything else, Frank?
Yeah, we'll keep working on it.
Is-
That last part that you added kind of made me think that, this road's gonna get wider and.
It won't
Good
get one.
night.
It won't get wider.
Gotta find out about these smart speed bumps.
Is that what they call them, smart?
So she should come going about it. Very check.
Moving right along.
I tried it last year, the association council don't allow speed bumps on it.
No, I wouldn't think they would.
No.
That's-
Not a
that's-
public thoroughfare. Go ahead.
Okay, is there anybody else there that wants to speak, public to be heard? I just wanted to, well, this could be communications or public to be heard. I did get a phone call from Jared Salvage today. He is the owner of a vehicle that was struck by a flying rock that came from the mower that Bob was cutting on the side of the road, I believe on Stryker. Our insurance company denied the claim because municipalities are exempt from liability when working on the streets. Examples would be when a snowplow hits a mailbox, we're not required by law to fix it. If a snowplow hits a parked car, we're not in the act of cleaning the roads. We're not responsible for that. If a mower throws up a stone, we're not responsible for any accidents happening. So at no fault of his, he says that the total cost that his insurance won't pay is going to end up being about $2,500. And he is seeking reimbursement from the town for that cost. So I wish he was here to explain more, but that's the conversation that I had with him today. I told him that I didn't have the authorization to approve anything, that it would be a town board decision, and that we needed to discuss it at today's meeting. So I did forward everybody this afternoon late. This phone call that took place was around 11 o'clock this morning. So I forwarded some documents that were estimates and the denial letter from the insurance company.
I printed them here if you guys want to see
Okay, I
everything.
don't think I got.
Yeah, that was the letter. Here are 2 quotes, right? And that's all you're talking about, right?
The denial letter and 2 quotes that he got for the price of the car. And I don't think I have anything from his insurance company saying what they will pay or what they didn't pay. So
He has a $2,500 deductible, I think is what he.
how much?
I think what he said is he has a $2,500
Right,
deductible
that's where.
and that he would like us to pay the deductible.
The
I'm not sure
deductible.
what the total cost of the repair is. Yeah, one's a considerably less than the
What's the
other.
total cost?
This Gerber one was a lot less than the other one.
15.
15? Where's the 2,500?
No, go to
So,
the next page.
can they-
It-
And I,
Is that one,
we have some clarification
Oh.
on the damage,
what do you have, the Gerber one? Fred, or
like
the-
what was
Yeah,
struck
where's-
on the vehicle, what
Oh,
body panel,
It was right side body panel, so.
or just a single stone struck one panel of the vehicle?
Now he's claiming that something got up underneath the chassis and did damage underneath the chassis. I don't know how.
Bumper, headlights, fender, front door, rear door.
Really?
Yeah,
What? How
Oh,
they,
yeah,
I
that's
thought
what
we're
this
talking about a
last one,
stone.
Fred, is then, okay.
Well, that's just a denial letter, no?
Yeah, that's what, that's
Where's
the
the-
denial letter.
so
I don't see, no, there it
Is
is.
any sort of police report or accident report
He did-
filed?
They didn't know, they didn't call the police. Bob accepted responsibility at the scene and
There it is.
told
You
him
know way.
told him
No.
to go down and talk to the town.
Oh,
Well, that one's less,
extended, that's-
that one's
that's-
less, the Gerber one's less
Right here,
than
what you're
the,
talking
than
about.
Mickey's.
That's pipe bar, so I didn't. exclude
that's
pipe bar.
very efficient, right?
So my concern is this, and we've kind of had this discussion about different things over the years, tree removal or not tree removal, but like damage from trees that, weren't the, we've paid for some stuff over the years that we weren't obligated to pay for, and I think that we run into some issues when we do that. I think that as representatives of the town, we are custodians of the town's money. And as such, this would be a gift. This would be us giving this resident a gift in the amount of $1,500 or $2,500 because we're not obligated by law to do it. And I think that we have to follow the law and we can't be giving gifts of the town money to other people. So if the law says that we're not obligated to pay it, I don't think we can pay it.
I would imagine this would be.
Well, that's a lot of
dispute
damage
between
in
the
one
two
stone.
insurance companies. If this was filed with insurance.
I don't understand how you can get that much damage, I really
From
don't.
one stone?
Even a bezel, a bezel is only antenna bezel.
Front bumper, front.
Hey,
lamp.
Bob, you were at the scene. You tell me what the damage was when you stopped. He stopped you.
On the right front quarter panel of the truck. I didn't.
What about the front bumper?
How about the right front, how about the right front fender?
Front door, rear door?
Some of those are remove and reinstall. It may not, if it doesn't say
Fender?
repair, then they may have to take it off to
To get to a quarter.
to get
panel?
to pull the other piece off that they need to get off, but regardless.
Yeah.
Remove and replace covered car bag. OEM. Corrosion protection. It's an old car.
Not a car, it's a truck.
But
Oh,
either
it's a
way,
truck. Yeah, it's 4-wheel drive, double cab.
I think that Fred is correct that, we're not obligated. It's matters between his insurance and our insurance if they choose to pursue it.
Yeah, and if our insurance says that they're denying it, then his insurance is gonna have to eat it.
My feeling, if you leave the insurance to fight it out and keep out of it. It's the way you really handle it. It's the insurance that's supposed to be handling this thing.
We have a consensus here
Okay, I can't vote because I'm remote today, so I feel really bad for the individual as a homeowner. This happened to me once before, so I understand the situation. So, okay, so we'll move on to the next agenda item. I gotta pull up my,
So just under the heading of new business, old business, or new old business. I just wanted to make the board aware
There we go.
that that on the 4th of August, the court ordered that nuisance property down across from Smiley's. It ordered it foreclosed on and sold. So the referee has 90 days to sell that property. And then that's a long time coming. And then once it's sold, then it's a whole new ballgame where the new owner has to remove the current residents as, you know, the law allows. And then, so there is a light at the end of this tunnel.
Another train coming the other way.
Yeah, there's a light. It's not quite as bright as it could be, but my hope is that the resident sees that the end is coming and just moves out on their own, and then things can resolve amicably, but who knows what's going to happen. But at least there is a court order of sale now, so it's coming to a close.
okay,
Getting there.
thank you.
Ricky,
Thank you for that update. I did not, until you shared that, I didn't realize that. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it happened. So good to know.
Rick had something.
Just on the prior issue that the board was discussing regarding the damage from the stone, maybe in the minutes, if it could say that you didn't take a vote, but the consensus of the board was to rely on the letter from NYMER dated 7/21/23. I think that would be important for the minutes to indicate. That's a letter that Ed provided us.
Yep.
Okay,
Got it. Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Okay.
The only other communications, we received an email from Mike Moore regarding the back access. I sent over Ed, just wanted to touch because I've done some work on it. Sent over Ed, speed bumps from a company that we could buy and install. And then also I got a proposal for a gate for the top of the hill. Okay, so we are making progress on that letter as far as some of the requests in it.
Thanks, sure.
Yep, I forgot to put that in. Thank you very much. Someone else just walked in, I saw. Is,
It was just Josh Chiz.
Josh, yeah.
does
Do
he
you
have
need
any?
anything? Do you need anything to address the board?
No, thank you, appreciate that.
Excellent. Okay, so we'll get to the resolution. The first resolution is to open the public hearing for local law number 4 of 2023, providing tax exemption for the volunteer fire department ambulance workers pursuant to the New York real property tax law. Is there a motion?
So move. A second.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second. Is any discussion?
Who was it?
I second.
Open.
Who's
Okay.
first?
Oh,
So we'll leave that open for a minute. And then the next.
Yes,
I want to see if anybody from the public wishes to be heard.
yeah, we gotta vote on it still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay,
The vote part,
open it. All those in favor?
Aye.
I have to abstain.
Okay,
Any comments from the public?
3 and 1.
Any public wishing to speak in regards to
Proposed
this
local law.
proposed local law?
Seeing none.
If I
Fireman
may, I did
exception.
forward this, as you're aware, to the, well, I actually had the wrong address, but then I hooked up with him by text and then I emailed it to his address. Jeff Lowe, our town assessor, he was fine with the language. I want to make sure he took a look at it before it was adopted today. Thank you.
Okay. The next resolution 101, Rick, before we even discuss it, is this something that you're comfortable with already, or do you want to put it on a hold until next month? Because Jeremy raised the question by email in regards to withdrawing the money, $10,000 that was set aside in the reserve fund for a truck that was purchased last month, but we didn't take any money out of the reserve money that was set aside for that particular action.
I would recommend we table this until we get a definitive answer if this is something we're able to do, legally allowed to do.
It comes out of the reserve, the water district, right?
I mean,
Darcel's recommending that me or someone from the board talk to Luke or Corey at our auditors, Drescher and Malecki. Instead of having her in the middle of it, that's an email she sent out, I think, later this afternoon in response to mine. I just think it'll be nice to have something from them before the board votes that we can rely upon. Because I don't want, as I said, I think in my prior email, I don't want them to write us up in next year's audit because we didn't do it. We're gonna ask now and see if it's something. I think the question is simple. I mean, I think the question is, can we
can we not?
yeah, can the reserve fund?
I think that's where it should come out of.
Reimburse a water fund, which is not a reserve fund, for a truck that's been purchased.
And pay
You know,
for
can
it.
that,
Yeah.
you know, the way I look at it, it can, but who knows? I'm not an auditor. I'm not a
So that
municipal accountant.
It only makes sense that we table to the next meeting.
Yeah, there's no problem tabling, but I think that's where it should come from.
Who's gonna contact the auditor?
Is that, you're saying this is a Ford truck, not a Chevy they bought? Yeah, oh, yeah, 'cause they bought it from Van Board or Ford.
Yeah,
All right, okay.
yeah, it's not a show.
Oh, is it
It's a-
F-350?
I
Either
think-
way, this is being. at this
I think
point,
it's
yeah.
a 250, isn't it? Or, I think it's,
The- Originally,
It's a
the-
250. it's a-
originally what I brought up was more so the process, the fact that it should have been brought. Bid, then brought to the board for approval to purchase, then a resolution made to withdraw funds from the appropriate reserve. And then the vehicle arrived. Now, how are we gonna shuffle the cash around after the fact? It was mainly, I was frustrated with the process of it. It should have just been voted on. From the get-go, so.
So, Jeremy made a motion to table. I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now the next resolution is to withdraw, expend up to $67,000 toward the cost of a new roof for town hall. So
Yes. One,
We skipped.
Skip 102.
did I skip 102? I'm doing it from my
Okay. Somebody read that.
for my phone. Okay, all right. the
Town
next-
of Owasco Highway Department to purchase a 2014 Ford pickup truck from the water district.
So the water district got a new truck. They were gonna take the old truck, give it to the highway department. In order to do that legally, we have to shift. We gotta transfer the funds around. So that's what that's all about. Can I get a motion for that?
Second.
Any discussion on that?
So the amount of $15,000 is to be
Fair
paid
value.
from the water department, from the highway department to the water department.
Yep.
It's your department. Is this a purchase and cost it?
It costs us high, 15, I gotta think from.
It's the plow and the truck, the Kelly Blue Book. It's actually under, it's in the low range in the fair market price on a Kelly Blue Book.
Really not, because you gotta take into consideration if we put $2,200 in the front end and then we had to put brakes on the back with all new brake lines. We had to put a new alternator in.
That truck was parked. That truck was parked. Nobody was using it.
Right, because the water department said it was junk.
And I'm the one that instituted the fact we should
Right.
resurrect it
Right.
and
I can see paying maybe, 10 grand, 10-2 for it, but I can't see paying 15 if we already put. The highway already spent that money in parts and labor to repair it.
So my frustration with the overall cost is taxpayer already bought this truck. And now they're buying it again for $50,000 essentially.
Not true. That's
When
not
the water-
true. Jeremy, that's
When
not
the
true.
water,
The water department is a special district. It has to be compensated for it because it comes out of a special fund, because not everybody in the town has water, so we have to do this legally, and that's the legal way of doing it.
And I think the question is,
The $15,000 on a truck we're replacing because we felt it needed to be replaced, and now
but it didn't. It was
but at the
part,
time, because we bought a new one. So what I'm getting at is the normal process would have been to send it to auction. Because we felt this truck is useful life expectancy within its service life here is no more. And now we're
It
saying,
didn't
well,
have-
we could put some money back into it and get some more money out of it. And now we're saying, well, it's actually worth $15,000.
well, it may not be worth 15,000,
I think
but it
that
had a lot of useful life left in it.
if
It was
it's,
parked there.
I don't so much have a concern with the transfer between departments, because that's a fairly common,
That's what
practice. I
we're
mean, the county highway department bills, the sheriff's department for work that they do, and it goes from budget to budget
That's
back and
right.
forth. I mean, but what I do have a concern about is if it sounds like this is already basically happened, we're kind of we put the cart before the horse, because the highway department took possession of it, put money into it, and now we're looking to go back and kind of fix the process so that we can do it, which is fine, but it's something that should have been done like the last one. This one should have been, hey, the highway department might be able to get some use out of this truck. Great, we don't get it, whatever, let's do it. It just, we
Fred, that's
should have been, we should have been consulted as a board prior to all the stuff being put into it.
That's exactly how it started. I saw it parked
Yeah.
against the fence all this time. It's just sitting there. I looked at it, I said, why can't we use this truck? Bob and Ed talked and they took it over, they put a few bucks in it, and now we have a truck that'll run a few more years.
Yeah, and then,
And they don't use it on the front line, they use it around town.
so Bob, what do you think the truck's worth in your mind, taking into account the money that you've already put into it?
10-2, 10-3.
Well, unfortunately, we can't use Bob's mind as a justification for the auditors. We gotta go by Kelly Blue Book, and we looked it up on Kelly Blue Book, so
But I think that you can subtract the money that we've already put into it.
Can I ask this question? Because we're selling between two municipalities, special districts, essentially. I mean, what states the requirement for cost of sale? Because I mean, I've seen things as little as $1 for transfers between different.
value.
Hmm?
Fair market value,
What says that? Our own policy, state law?
state law.
Can we ask the auditor tomorrow and say, should the repairs, all the
Yeah, that's a good
repairs
question.
come out of the 15,000 that you're saying is Kelly Blue Book?
Sure, go ahead. Give them a call.
Or,
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, go
or
ahead.
the highway department, the other option would be that the highway department bills the water department for the repairs. So, I mean, one way or another, but we can
And then pay the 15.
we can certainly ask,
So this way we'll have 15,000 and say just roughly 4,000 in repairs. So I'm gonna be paying $19,000 for a 2014 truck.
Let's just say, let's make the resolution minus fair market value minus the repair cost.
that works. for me.
That'll work.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sounds good.
All right,
So Bob,
Can-
your office has to give the
Right.
repair cost to add, and that's gotta be subtracted out.
okay.
So,
Can-
I'll
we'll-
do the road.
so
Math
I'll make a motion to amend the current resolution to say that the cost that the highway department has put into this truck be subtracted from the 15,000.
Repair
Repair costs has been, and that amount be subtracted, and then the remaining. be
Whatever it
what we
comes
pay.
to, we'll do the
Yeah.
math and that's it.
So those repairs have already been completed, and we probably already have the receipts. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
So do the math in the morning,
We get it.
whatever it is,
We get a second
It's in
for the
our-
amendment.
I second.
It's our own budget, so.
Okay.
So we want to vote on the amendment, Ed?
Yep, all those in favor?
Aye. And now we got to vote on the resolution as amended, which I move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That,
Okay. 103 is to withdraw up to 67,000 to replace the roof on Town Hall. So we have a motion, we have a second. The only thing where I'll tell you where I got this price from was from, I got quotes from several different places. This was the lowest of 3 quotes. However, we cannot take quotes. We actually have to go out to a bid process. So we are going to bid this job and, but we're hoping that the bid price comes in under the lowest price we got the quotes for. So if not, we're not going to do anything. We'll come back and we'll see where it comes. So that's where we're at. So we have a motion, we have a second. Any more discussion?
That gave me some specs for the roof out now. I'll put together the notice, the bidders.
For the
There's
bid,
a newspaper for everybody to review it when you guys sign off by email.
that's right.
Ed or Tammy can put it.
Right.
Put it in the paper.
Do we need to make a
Okay.
motion tonight
Sounds
to
good.
do a bid, set a bid opening
I've
date?
been thinking about that today.
Do we want to tentatively set one or? I mean, I think.
Set it the next month's board meeting. I don't, next out to 2 weeks. I don't care. Whenever, 2 weeks after we get in the paper.
But
That's
remember too, that paper's a nightmare right now. It's a good week.
weeks after it's published. When we can get in the paper, we'll know when we can get it in the paper. So we'll,
Yeah, it's terrible. What the paper's doing.
Right, for how long it needs to be posted for?
no, getting it in.
getting in.
Oh, it's a nightmare, it's a nightmare, right?
It is,
Oh, yeah,
it is.
I like to have at least 20 days.
Yeah.
All right, 20 days.
That's can decide.
Okay.
You know,
So is that, did we amend the thing
No,
or are we
no, I
just,
think that, no,
okay.
this is the resolution to withdraw funds from the reserve, so
Okay.
yeah.
so we just need to vote on that? That's been moved and seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. The next resolution,
We want,
we can prepare bid documents.
do we just want to set a date, say the September board meeting? Or do we want to get this moved forward before? I don't know the urgency, I don't know the urgency on.
Yeah.
there's no urgency.
Not this season, I wouldn't think.
Okay, that's,
Before winter, because we got some shingles that are gonna, from the ice damage and stuff. And we have a temporary leak on our exhaust in our bathroom with the boot rotted and we had water coming in and wrecked our ceiling in the men's bathroom. So, we,
2 weeks, we have a meeting.
special board meeting, 2
We
weeks.
could do a special
Well,
meeting, 2
we
weeks.
just gotta get it published first.
Yeah, and that could take a week at least.
Well,
let's have Tammy call the paper tomorrow. See when it will be published, then we can just go, Rick said 20 days after it's published, whenever that date is, we'll just have we'll have it.
Tomorrow, you guys can look it over.
Perfect.
Probably.
And
be
okay,
September.
Tim, can get out Monday or something.
Yeah, I can't, yeah, and I can't
Yeah.
even like call.
Just tell the paper, if we get it to you by close of business on Monday, when will be in the paper? That's.
It'll be Wednesdays,
Oh, if you're lucky.
if you're lucky. it should be.
Sometimes they don't even answer us
I know.
over 2 days. So he's gonna give it to me Monday. I might not.
You gotta
even
get it
hear
by
from-
Tuesday by 3.
Yeah, no.
Approved.
No, it won't even. It probably won't get it until Friday. The one I sent the other day isn't until Friday.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah. They're only 3 days paper now.
Are we good with that?
Yes.
But it may go into the e-edition, so that just is good. So long as it's published, whenever they can get it in. All right, now we're going to close the public hearing for the local law court. Can I get a-
Anybody that wants to talk on that? I haven't seen anybody new show up and nobody is online, so I think we're good.
Yeah,
Okay,
The fire tax exemption.
yeah, just, as a chaplain for the fire department, I don't nearly do as much as all of our firefighters and EMS personnel. And But I see how much they do for our community, and I think it's great that that we move forward with any benefits for about people who are investing their life so much into our community and putting their lives at risk.
Noted.
Thank you.
Okay,
I agree with the chairman.
I will make a motion, close the public hearing.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we had to do a seeker determination for local law number 4. So this, the no significant issues with this local law. So could I get a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next resolution is to adopt the enactment of local law number 4. This is where Rick earns his money doing these templates. Can I get a motion for approval of the local law?
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Yes.
Alright. Thank you, guys.
It's not very right.
Yes.
I know.
Well, we have a full board tonight because I can't vote legally, so we got 3 votes. That's perfect.
You
So,
just assume I'm gonna vote no, right? You just assume.
oh, no. I know.
I don't know, you softened up a little bit,
It's
perhaps.
just, I only got a few months left.
A lot of surprises.
Yeah.
Abstracts, can I get a motion to approve the abstracts for today?
Move, or second, sorry.
Okay, any discussion? I haven't seen them, so I can't comment on them, so,
Notice anything.
Oh, okay.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Before we adjourn to executive session, I see that is Walt there?
He left.
He left.
Dropped off 2 thumb drives and.
Okay, all right, I don't have any,
I think we did the last.
yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about. I just want to go into executive session to give you an update on some personnel issue and contracts, possible contract for land purchase. So,
So do you want
Get
to
a-
call one of our cell phones? Or how do you want to?
That's a good idea.
I should-
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going out.
all right,
we have. to go into executive
What you want to do?
Jeremy, who drives a
Hold on.
a Navy truck?
No action will be taken after the executive session is complete.
I'm fine.
no action. Okay, that'll be it.